here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
Conservative, not bitter indeed. You are listening to hour number 2 of the Todd Huff Show. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. Hour number 1, incidentally, you can catch on Facebook. It is now in the Facebook archives as long as Facebook allows us to keep it there. Facebook.com/Todd Huff Show. You can also listen on our website, ToddHuffShow.com/listen. You can listen as to a podcast. Search iTunes or Spotify or iHeartRadio or Stitcher or wherever you consume your podcast. It's free. Hour 1 is always free. Hour 2 here on YouTube. Or for those of you who are Total Access subscribers, it's good to have you as well. ToddHuffShow.com/Total Access for those who want long-term access. This YouTube is a temporary, foreseeable future thing, but temporary way that we're going to be airing hour 2 of the program, and it's good to be here no matter where you're watching or listening to this program. Saying watching is a little bit odd to me, given that I know I have a face for radio. So here we are talking about what Trump said yesterday. I want to return to that. I didn't get through the entire thing. There's some other things I want to get to as well. But President Trump talking tough about what he's seen with the protest. And as I said before, good. I want to be clear. I'm a limited government person that believes in limited government. Limited government doesn't mean powerless government. It means power in the areas where it needs to have power. We the people have basically given them, through our right to self-governance, given the government power to do things. All power, power, we always have to be skeptical when people have power. That's because of human nature, so we have to be cautious. But it doesn't mean that the government should have no power. It just means that it shouldn't have total power in all areas of our lives, as some on the radical left wanted to have, where they can control all sorts of things. That's not what I'm saying. But in this particular issue, this is something that's really kind of fundamental to the role of government, protecting citizens, protecting life, liberty, and property. And we've not seen a very good job of this in many cases. We've seen some governments, some mayors, some governors taking steps to really avoid having to make the tough decisions and to be tough on this stuff. You have to be tough on this stuff. What we're witnessing is an absolute debacle. It's indefensible. It's inexcusable. It's criminal. The riots, again, I'm separating rioters from protesters. Again, if you are confused as to when a riot becomes a protest, in fact, I think I might put that in the newsletter. Just occurred to me. Newsletter goes out later today, our weekly semi-sweet morsels of truth, which of course is ever so conservative and not bitter. It's free. You can join. You can become a subscriber to that simply by going to ToddHuffShow.com/subscribe, or if you grab your cell phone, just text the word Huff, my last name, H-U Frank, H-U-F-F, to 31996. Text the word Huff to 31996, and you'll have to respond with your email. But those, if you get that in here before, say late evening. I don't have an exact time for when this is scheduled to go out, but usually it's around 8. It's later in the evening that we send these out. So you can get today's newsletter. But I'll probably do, just occurred to me, I had one more bit of content I wanted to create, and I think I might do when your protest becomes a riot, for those who may need some clarification on that. So all of that being said, here we are. Last night in the Rose Garden, President Trump takes to the podium to talk about what he's witnessed in this great nation over the past, of course, you could go back to the tragic death of George Floyd last Monday night. So we're a week into this now. But the protests have really ramped up here over the weekend and the past couple of days. And so President Trump is addressing this, talking about this, and talking about the importance of protecting people from the violence that has erupted from not the protests, but the riots. So let's pick up here with what Trump has to say about this.
I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters. But in recent days, our nation has been gripped by professional anarchists, violent mobs, arsonists, looters, criminals, rioters, Antifa, and others. A number of state and local governments have failed to take necessary action to safeguard their residents. Innocent people have been savagely beaten, like the young man in Dallas, Texas, who was left dying on the street, or the woman in upstate New York viciously attacked by dangerous thugs. Small business owners have seen their dreams utterly destroyed. New York's finest have been hit in the face with bricks. Brave nurses who have battled the virus are afraid to leave their homes. A police precinct has been overrun here in the nation's capital. The Lincoln Memorial and the World War II Memorial have been vandalized. One of our most historic churches was set ablaze. A federal officer in California, an African-American enforcement hero, was shot and killed. These are not acts of peaceful protest. These are acts of domestic terror. The destruction of innocent life and the spilling of innocent blood is an offense to humanity and a crime against God. America needs creation, not destruction. Cooperation, not contempt. Security, not anarchy. Healing, not hatred. Justice, not chaos. This is our mission, and we will succeed. 100%, we will succeed. Our country always wins.
Okay, so properly describing, right? There's confusion out there. I don't know that. I think it's maybe sometimes phony confusion. I think some people act like when you hear the media talk about this. In fact, I saw a headline from the New York Times late last night. Let me see if I can pull this up because I get these stupid stories emailed to me. Let me make sure I pull this baby up. Let's up. That's not what I want. Where'd you go? Here it is. Here it is. Now, I will say they got it kind of right. I mean, the headline, well, it's the headline of, yeah, it's the headline of the article. I didn't know if it was just the subject line of the email, but it says this: breaking news last night, President Trump said violent protests over George Floyd's death were, quote, acts of domestic terror and threatened to deploy the military to stop them. Now that's not technically incorrect, but it's not this is where we conflate things. It's not violent protest, it's riots. It's riots. We have peaceful protests. We have violent riots. If a protest becomes violent, it is now suddenly a riot. That's how that works. That's what that means. Violent protest is a riot. It's like they don't want to use the word riot because they want to maintain some connection between the people who are setting fires and George Floyd. This is not about that anymore. That is not about that. The protests are. The protests are. The conversations we're having in this country are. As long as we're not talking about the burning down of buildings or the needless suffering, assaults of people, the looting, the pillaging, and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, but again, Trump is right here. We have to apparently identify this clearly for some people to understand what exactly or who exactly he's talking about. It's clear, though, to anyone who wants to know the truth, Trump's not talking about the people. In fact, he started this speech by talking about the people who are peacefully protesting. Right? That's what it means to protest. You can even be emotional in your protest. But violence is not protected. Violence is not a protest. Violence is a riot. And that's what we're seeing here. Trump continues here.
That is why I am taking immediate presidential action to stop the violence and restore security and safety in America. I am mobilizing all available federal resources, civilian and military, to stop the rioting and looting, to end the destruction and arson, and to protect the rights of law-abiding Americans, including your Second Amendment rights. Therefore, the following measures are going into effect immediately. First, we are ending the riots and lawlessness that has spread throughout our country. We will end it now. Today, I have strongly recommended to every governor to deploy the National Guard in sufficient numbers that we dominate the streets. Mayors and governors must establish an overwhelming law enforcement presence until the violence has been quelled. If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them. I am also taking swift and decisive action to protect our great capital, Washington, D.C. What happened in this city last night was a total disgrace. As we speak, I am dispatching thousands and thousands of heavily armed soldiers, military personnel, and law enforcement officers to stop the rioting, looting, vandalism, assaults, and the wanton destruction of property. We are putting everybody on warning. Our 7 o'clock curfew will be strictly enforced. Those who threaten innocent life and property will be arrested, detained, and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. I want the organizers of this terror to be on notice that you will face severe criminal penalties and lengthy sentences in jail. This includes Antifa and others who are leading instigators of this violence. One law and order, and that is what it is. One law. We have one beautiful law. And once that is restored and fully restored, we will help you, we will help your business, and we will help your family. America is founded upon the rule of law. It is the foundation of our prosperity, our freedom, and our very way of life. But where there is no law, there is no opportunity. Where there is no justice, there is no liberty. Where there is no safety, there is no future. We must never give in to anger or hatred. If malice or violence reigns, then none of us is free. I take these actions today with firm resolve and with a true and passionate love for our country. By far, our greatest days lie ahead. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to pay my respects to a very, very special place. Thank you very much.
Okay, so that's again, I played the rest of this last hour as well, the beginning portion of this. But he leaves from the Rose Garden, and this was something that I watched last night live. You may have caught it too, around 7 p.m. Eastern in the evening. Trump walks across Lafayette Park. We'll talk about that, and then what happens when he gets there and the fallout from that, the photo op, people outraged about this. Again, if you want to be outraged about something, how about you're outraged about people burning our cities down, attacking people, destroying businesses, destroying property? It's bad enough in regular times, but what about in times when we're trying to come out of a pandemic, where governments took extreme action to prevent businesses from operating? Anyway, gotta take a time out here. You're listening to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
The compassion of Christ compels us to stop what we're doing and seek that person out. I think as Jesus went in that famous song I sang as a little kid was Zacchaeus, come down. Zacchaeus was in a tree and he wanted to engage with Jesus, but he just couldn't, and Jesus stopped and he went over to him. If we are going to live a life of compassion, the compassion of Christ, are we willing to stop and seek those who need a touch of compassion today?
Hi, my name is John Swadner, Sales Director of the Todd Huff Show. As a listener of the program, you know the show is growing. 4 years ago, it began as a podcast in a closet. Today, it's a 2-hour show that airs during morning drive in Indy and in Utah, and we're just scratching the surface. Todd brought me on board to help the show and our advertisers grow. That's why I'm specifically looking for partners who are a good fit to advertise with us. Would that be you? To learn more about what advertising would look like and to determine if it's a good fit for your business, shoot me an email to john@toddhuffshow.com. And be sure to ask me about some of our special packages that will save you up to 40%. Email john@toddhuffshow.com. Shoot me an email today.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't find a quiet place to think in your home. Now all the kids have flown the nest and you find yourself wondering what to do with all of that extra space. This is Bruce of Bruce Richardson Realty. My team and I understand that life changes and so do your home needs. So whether you're downsizing or upsizing, give us a call at 317-507-3285. Let us help you find the best fit for your residential or your commercial property needs. 317-507-3285.
Welcome back. So, Trump finishes up his Rose Garden speech last night where he denounces violence, where he properly describes who he's got a problem with, which are the rioters. Again, people who don't understand this, I think intentionally do so. This is so fundamentally basic. You know, people going out in the daytime, in the evening time, in the morning time with signs, even at night, even into the evening, signs, and they're not starting fires and all that. Trump's not talking to them. Trump's talking about the people who are jumping on the sides of buildings, trying to rip plywood off the sides, smashing in windows, looting stores, attacking people on the street. We watched, there's all kinds of stuff happening. I mean, there's too much happening around this country to possibly cover it all. There's just no way. I don't even care if you're a big network news. Well, they don't want to cover it all, but let's just say that there's such a thing as a news organization that tries to present the truth and to present news in an objective way. There's too much to cover. I mean, we got cities on fire all across the country. We've got people running around thinking that they're entitled to take something from a sporting goods store, a department store, whatever. They're entitled to it. They need it. They want it. Just take it, run away with it. Liquor store, doesn't matter. Just take it. Nobody cares. They're insured, right? Meanwhile, people's businesses are back in the tank in these cities because they're not able to operate, because they can't go into their stores because they've been destroyed. I mean, I've seen videos here. My wife forwarded me a video of someone who had walked through downtown Indianapolis over the weekend showing the damage done there. And it's just, it's incredible. I mean, the windows, of course, are busted out. All the merchandise is ripped from the store. It's beyond believable. And as I said last hour, and as I've said maybe even this hour, and I stand by it, this is not about George Floyd for these rioters anymore. This is not. This is about something else. This is about much more. This is about taking advantage of a opportunity, right? Never let a crisis go to waste. This is reprehensible. This is abhorrent. This is destructive. This is not American. This is wicked. This is evil. This is inexcusable. I could go on here on this. And it has to be stopped. So Trump leaves. So I find no problem with anything. Trump says to the governors, hey guys, listen, get your cities under control. Stop this nonsense. Call in the National Guard. Overwhelming numbers on the street. We're not talking about overwhelming force to where we're just, storming places, but, take control of this. Send enough people in there to be able to secure your cities. Send enough people in there. Overwhelming numbers. Make the rioters think, probably can't pull this off. Probably can't do what we did last night when no one was over here, or there was one lone law enforcement officer yelling through a bullhorn to stop it. Now we've got a city full of people who are going to make us stop it. In fact, they're not even going to let us get to the places. They're not going to let us congregate. They're going to enforce curfews, if necessary, to regain control of the city. This has to be stopped. Trump is right. Trump says, if you're not going to do it, then I'll send in the military and we'll take care of it for you. How this can continue in your cities night after night without you putting an end to this is beyond my imagination, Trump's basically saying. And I'm going to take care of this if you won't, because the safety of the American people, protection of life, liberty, and property is first and foremost the foundational, the most basic function of government. And I'm here to do that. We don't have any society, we don't have any opportunity, we don't have any hope if we become a lawless society. And that's what these riots are. They are lawless. So I'm going to send in the military if you don't figure it out with the National Guard. Inexcusable what's happened so far. Basically what Trump said. So he leaves the press conference, leaves the Rose Garden address. He says, I'm about to pay make a very special visit, pay tribute to a place that is very special. And so Brett Baer, I was watching Fox last night when this happened. Brett Baer speculated at the time that maybe Trump was going to walk over to St. John's Church, which is right across the way, again, right across Lafayette Park. So Trump begins to do that. So it was hard to watch because the cameramen were running with their cameras, and you saw sky half the time and feet the other half of the time, and every once in a while you would see Trump and Secret Service. That was something I commented to my wife about. These Secret Service agents have to be freaking out right now because Trump's just basically walking across Lafayette Park, where, just not long before there were protesters who knows what they would want to do to President Trump. I've got to guess. Did I say protesters? Rioters. I don't know who was out in front of the park then, but there were rioters at one point in front of that. You could see desecration to monuments, graffiti, all this stuff. President Trump walks across Lafayette Park. You could see the Secret Service agents, and they were. I'm sure that there was a discussion about this. I'm sure that maybe there was even pushback about Trump doing this, and Trump says, "I'm going to walk across the park, and you're going to basically deal with it." So they did. He walks across Lafayette Park. He gets to the church, this church that had been set afire. It had been set on fire the night before. Fortunately, there was the damage, as I understand it, listening to I think he was the pastor, someone involved with the church said that there was, it was contained to one room, which was the nursery, which I believe was in the basement. It did not affect, as I understand, anything else in the church. That's good. I think every president has gone to this church to pray. There's a lot of history here. Just every president since maybe Madison, I think it was. But regardless, just an incredible historical site, just a very symbolic site. It's a church, which of course there's that important factor. This is a place that represents, well, it's a place where believers gather in the name of their Lord and Savior, Jesus, where they gather to worship and to proclaim him. Set on fire. Trump walks over there. The windows are boarded up. Trump grabs a Bible, holds it up, just stands there. I know some folks thought that maybe there should have been more said or done. I think it was done really well, to be honest. I think what he was saying was, this is our city. This represents our country. Mayors and governors all around this country should be doing effectively the same thing. You walk through a place that the rioters hijacked the night before or a few nights before or whatever, to show them that doesn't belong to you. You were there temporarily. You're not coming back. What happened in previous times is not going to happen again. I'm going to walk to one of the places you targeted that has significance in a nation that was founded upon Judeo-Christian principles. Doesn't mean that you have to be a Christian to be an American, but it does mean that those factors played an important role in the foundation of this country. This is undeniable. And so he's like, I'm going to stand here. I'm going to stand here because this represents something much greater than even the words that were just spoken. I'm going to hold this Bible here, which of course upsets people, with this church in the background. Yes, it was hit, but yes, it will be okay. Yes, it holds significance historically for this country. Yes, it holds symbolic significance to men and women of faith. Even for those who don't have faith, with this church, and I can't speak specifically to that congregation, there's people with, I don't know. I'm not suggesting one way or the other, but I will say this after listening to the interview on Anderson Cooper, which I'll play here in a minute. Not this segment, before now and the end of the program. Between now and the end of the program, anyway. I'm not sure exactly if this is, to what degree, some of the political views of this particular church are. It doesn't matter to some degree. It matters that this was an act of, it was a very symbolic act. And of course, the media doesn't like this because this is what the left is supposed to do. The right, the Republicans, the conservatives, we're supposed to be anti-everything. We're supposed to be, branded as whatever they want us to be branded as. We're not supposed to be making these great symbolic statements. And I think it was well done. But it's upset some on the left. Photo op in front of the church, upsetting some people and all of this. But I think it was actually very well done, if I'm being candid. Didn't say much. I think someone asked him, is that your Bible? And he said, it's a Bible. People saying, oh, Trump can't read. Trump doesn't even know what a Bible is. 2 Corinthians, all this kind of stuff. But the gesture was made clear. The gesture was made clear. The rioters will not win. The rioters cannot change what America is. The rioters cannot change the history of America, the direction of America, the importance of Judeo-Christian values in America. The rioters are going to lose, and they're going to be stopped. And kudos to having a president that's willing to do that. And I've got to take a break. You are listening to Conservative, Not Bitter Talk and education, by the way. Got some education classes we're working on at CNBU, which I hope to unveil here in the not-too-distant future. But I've got to take a time out here, come back and continue this conversation, including an interview that Anderson Cooper had with one of the with someone affiliated with the St. John's Church who was not the least bit happy with President Trump and his photo op in front of the church last night. So we'll talk about that when we get back. Be back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Hi, I'm Greg Hubler from Greg Hubler Chevrolet. You know, a promise can get lost in a big city, but in a smaller town, a promise made had better be a promise kept. That's why the Greg Hubler Promise covers every vehicle we sell. All new Chevys receive a 3-year, 45,000-mile scheduled maintenance, plus complimentary roadside assistance and a free car wash with every visit. A promise made is a promise kept. Stop by Greg Hubler Chevy today or visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Business leaders, are your employees satisfied with their jobs? Do they enjoy coming to work and feel valued? Workforce Chaplains can help. Locally owned, we work with organizations to provide holistic care to their employees. I'm Marcus Schrader, President of Workforce Chaplains, and we offer your team a 24/7 support system that positively affects your company's culture and productivity. With our personalized pricing and diverse support system, we handle the issues that you wish you had time for. To learn more, visit us at workforcechaplains.com.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in Central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Welcome back. So much craziness. I am unable I'm unable to stay on top of all this. Watching Lara Logan on Fox News talking about Antifa. This is a dangerous, dangerous group. Properly identified here by Trump as being a terrorist organization. I've got people upset at the New York Times. Thanks to Ty for sending that to me. I've got the New York Times also saying that Trump threw fuel on the fire last night. Threw fuel on the fire because he told governors to get tough, I guess. That threw fuel on the fire. I have this question. In the next segment, we're going to get to this soundbite, this interview on Anderson Cooper. Again, so much going on, pulled in multiple directions here. But I have a question for the New York Times. If Trump threw fuel on the fire, what could Trump have done to grab the metaphorical fire extinguisher here and put this fire out? What do these folks who are rioting and wanting free stuff in the city, ripping plywood off of windows, busting out windows, jumping on cop cars, setting fires, assaulting people in the streets, what words, New York Times, could the Trump administration, could President Trump actually say at the Rose Garden? You think Antifa, you think these radical, insane, deranged individuals were sitting there waiting for Trump's Rose Garden speech? You think they even know what the Rose Garden is? I mean, you might be able to tell them what it is if you said, hey, when you were tagging something out there, one of the monuments in the park across from the White House, it was over your right shoulder. You know, you might have to give them some sort of a directional component when they were creating their acts of, or I guess perpetrating their acts of vandalism and violence. That might be what would help these folks. Oh, that big open area on the back side of the White House. They probably didn't see the back side of the White House either. They just saw the front of the White House. What I consider the front anyway, the main on Pennsylvania Avenue there. So, I mean, it is. We are in all out political and informational war here, propaganda war. And you talk about the chief propagandist, it's people like Antifa. Folks, this is not a good group. They want to completely, metaphorically and literally burn this nation to the ground. That's what they want to do. This is who they are. They believe that they're fighting for some greater good. They believe that if you have a business and property, you're the problem. In fact, you're the oppressor. Yes, even the oppressor. And that's what they're here for. Does that sound like it has anything to do with George Floyd? Anything whatsoever. Now, they'll say, well, it does in the sense that, you know, if they have a 10-point plan. Laura Logan was showing this on Fox, which I'm going to look this thing up. I haven't seen this before. I've seen stuff from Antifa, but I haven't seen their articulate 10-point plan. I'm sure it's just every bit as just brilliant as I envision it to be. But this is what we're up against. We can't fool ourselves. This is the moment. You know, we've looked back at American history. You can go back and you can see how these ideas began to percolate. You can see how people began to coalesce around some of the ideas. I use that word loosely. It's emotion is what it is. It's they don't want what we have here collectively, and they're going to basically burn it down to the ground. And so you can look back and you can see the baby steps to get here. But we're past the point of organizing and talking. They are now enacting their plan. This is what they're doing. We are at the point now where they are trying to effectively, I mean, really, they're trying to violently overthrow our system of government. That's really, they're forming a coup. They're forming a coup. And some people are wringing their hands about whether or not Trump should determine this group to be a terrorist organization. It is by definition, it is the poster child of domestic terrorism. Out of control, radical, insane, dangerous, unhinged, immoral group of individuals thinking that they've got the moral high ground to do whatever they want because you, as a business owner, as a landowner, as someone who's succeeded, so to speak, in the American system, you're the oppressor. Sick, disgusting, backwards, just totally bankrupt way of thinking, morally bankrupt way of thinking, and I've got to take a break. Come back. I've got a little bit of time. I want to play a little bit of this conversation Anderson Cooper had with a representative of the St. John's Church when we get back, but I've got to do that after this break. Sit tight. See you in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
If you own a rental property, you know the hassles of marketing, renting, collecting, and the handling of maintenance and repairs. One call to Zuluscape can put an end to your property management headaches. Zuluscape has over 20 years of experience helping landlords throughout central Indiana and taking the stress out of owning a rental. From A to Z, let Zuluscape handle it all so you can enjoy owning a rental instead of hating being a landlord. Give us a call at 317-663-8485 or visit our website at zuluscape.com.
Ever ask yourself, what does my business insurance actually cover? Well, at AIA and Avon, we think you deserve to know. AIA is focused on earning your trust. We've found that when we educate our clients and truly listen to them, they allow us to work alongside them to put together the insurance plan they need. Whether your business is big or small, give AIA a call, 317-718-1747, or find out what we can do for you at AIA4lowrates.com. Advertisement sponsored by Grange Insurance.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freegee, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freegee, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
When life is hard for the women you care about, there is help with issues such as widowhood, anxiety, depression, or abuse. They don't have to go through it alone. Peace Restored is there to walk with women through the journey. Peace Restored helps women through free mentoring, counseling, and education. When life is hard, Peace Restored is there to help women you care about find hope and healing. To learn more, visit peacerestored.net.
Welcome back. I told you that I would play a little bit of this soundbite. Bear with me real quick here. All right, sorry about that. So I want to play a little bit of this soundbite. Anderson Cooper talking with, as I understand it, what it says here, the bishop overseeing the church in D.C. I can't play this whole thing. I'll probably post it on Facebook here shortly just so you can listen to it. But I just want you to hear this. I just want you to hear this. Here is her conversation with Anderson Cooper about Trump in front of St. John's Church in D.C. last night.
Your thoughts as you
as you saw what happened, and as you look at these images now of so many Americans crying out in the streets for law and order that is applied equally to all of us, regardless of color, regardless of economic status?
I want to thank you for letting me be on this, be part of this conversation. Let me be clear. The president just used a Bible, the most sacred text of the Judeo-Christian tradition, and one of the churches of my diocese, without permission, as a backdrop for a message antithetical to the teachings of Jesus and everything that our churches stand for. And to do so, as you just said, he sanctioned the use of tear gas by police officers in riot gear to clear the churchyard. I am outraged. The president did not pray when he came to St. John's, nor, as you just articulated, did he acknowledge the agony of our country right now, and in particular that of the people of color in our nation, who wonder if anyone in public power will ever acknowledge their sacred worth, and who are rightfully demanding an end to 400 years of systemic racism and white supremacy in our country. And I just want the world to know that we in the Diocese of Washington, following Jesus and his way of love, we distance ourselves from the incendiary language of this president. We follow someone who lived a life of nonviolence and sacrificial love. We align ourselves with those seeking justice for the death of George Floyd and countless others through the sacred act of peaceful protest. And I just can't believe what my eyes have seen.
I can't believe what I just listened to. She sounds more upset that Trump took a picture in front of her church, by the way, from the sidewalk, right? I mean, from a public spot. She's more appalled at that than the people who set the thing on fire. What on earth? 400 years of white supremacy. This is a leader of a church talking about 400 years of white supremacy. Yes, America has problems, foundational problems with racism. There's no question about this. America has also come a long, long, long way. A long way. And I have to say this. She sounds more like a Democrat PR firm than she sounds like a leader of a church to me. The government, what? Tear gas. So you can't use tear gas. I know tear gas doesn't feel good, but you know what? It's not like there's no warning to what's, you have been ordered. You have been ordered to leave the streets. The reason you've been ordered to leave the streets are not complicated. You've destroyed the city. You burned things down, including this church. The reasons why, the windows are boarded up. Again, this bishop, she seems more concerned about Trump holding up a Bible in front of the church, not going in and praying. Does she seem upset that the rioters didn't go in to pray? Maybe they did. Maybe in her world, that's what she thinks was happening. I don't know, but this is deranged to me. This is deranged to me. She's upset by President Trump. She blames President Trump. And she also commits the very, very basic flaw, the very, very basic mistake, where she can't differentiate between protesters and rioters. And I don't know, she's probably intelligent. This is probably a willing act. Because there's a difference between, it's so fundamentally basic. It's so completely fundamentally basic that I don't even know if it deserves a response. But I just wanted you to hear this. She's more upset. At least she has more bad things to say about Trump in his response to her church being set on fire than she does for those who set it on fire, who set it ablaze, who wanted. When you set something on fire, the intent is to burn it to the ground, right? This is not. And she's more upset at Trump because he didn't go in and pray last night. This is just silliness. This is silliness. She's not. Look, you have to be on the side of restoring order. This has to be stopped. It doesn't mean that the protests are stopped. It means that the rioting is stopped. This is not complicated. I think people that don't understand do not want to understand. And I've got to take a break. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
I love my community, and I wanted to do more to make a difference with my hard-earned dollars. I wanted to make an impact and help shape our future and our county. So I gave money to the Community Foundation of Morgan County. More than just charitable giving, the money I donate is tracked and measured so every dollar is held accountable. It's a social return on your investment. Why don't you join me in donating at cfmconline.org? That's cfmconline.org. Philanthropy with measurable impact.
Healthcare is expensive and complicated. Did you know that as a Christian business owner, it is possible to provide access to affordable health benefits for your employees? Remodel Health has helped employers across the United States save over $22 million in the past 3 years. Our innovative approach allows your employees to have the health benefits they need at a cost you can afford. Go to remodelhealth.com/Todd to help your employees find the health care they deserve. Remodel Health. Rethink employee health benefits.
Anxiety, depression, relationship problems, past trauma. Problems rarely get better when given time. Care to Change counseling can help. Our professionals combined evidence-based care models with scripture to get you on the path to a productive life. We are here to help you make the changes you need for a healthier, happier you. Take that brave step today. Call Care to Change at 317-790-9396 or visit caretochange.org.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC. Radon is an invisible, odorless gas that kills more people than drunk driving. In fact, radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Is radon threatening the health of your family? Call Radon Environmental at 317-843-0804. Radon Environmental specializes in radon testing and mitigation. The process is quick, easy, and worth it. Radon Environmental wants to make sure your family's health is not at risk. Call 317-843-0804.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
All right, welcome back. That's about all of the time that I have for today. But folks, I got to say this. I have to say this. This is a critical moment in American history. I mean, we are fighting for fundamental American values, values that are rooted in some very, very basic things that our founders spent a lot of time and energy understanding from history and applying and so forth in this great nation. And those are at risk here. Those are at risk from all the violence and so forth. Guys, I've got to go. SDG. See you tomorrow. Take care. As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have